to The World According to Jakai, where I share my opinions about this world, but trust me, I am not of this world. We have another guest on The World According to Jakai, okay? This guest is not average by any means, okay? You can find her at Weichert, Atlanta Realtors. She is a prestigious partner here. She buys, sells, and invests in all real estate in Atlanta, you guys. You're welcoming Delise Blue.
Wow, I am so honored to be here, Jakai. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you being here, first of all, because honestly, we have history. Do you want to tell them a little bit about our history? Because we go back.
Yes, I know. We go way back. Yes, I met Jakai in elementary school, so I've known her for about 10 years or more, 10 years plus.
We were just roaming the streets. Delise is always older than us. So to now see you flourish in this company, I'm just excited for people to hear about what all you do and who you are as a person. So can you start by telling our viewers and our listeners, who is Delise?
Yes, for me, Delise is a mother. That is my favorite hat. I am a sister, a friend, a public notary, a real estate professional in the state of Georgia. I'm also an Atlanta realtor. I wear many hats, I'm just a loving, caring person who God put on this earth to do great things.
So in what way would you say that you knew was the time that you had to get in the real estate business?
Well, I really didn't know. I feel like this was just a path that God sent me on. I really didn't know what I was going to do with my life. But a lot of my mentors and family just kind of pushed me to go down this direction. And once I went in this direction, I just loved it, and I just haven't looked back since then.
So what about your mentors? Why did they mean so much to you?
They meant so much to me because they just were Black excellence. They were just women doing what they had to do, as you guys would call it. They were really standing on business, in this real estate market. And I wanted to do that. And my mom would always tell me as a kid, I would walk around with her suit jackets on and stuff and her briefcase when people wore briefcases. And I'd be like, oh, I'm going to a meeting. I have a meeting. So I've always wanted to be a businesswoman. I just didn't know what profession or what field, I wanted to pursue. But once I got my license and I closed my first deal and I just touched an insane amount of money, it just was everything for me. And I haven't looked back since 2020. So, and it's up from here. I just have so many more paths and roads and ways to go. And I'm just so excited and blessed and thankful to be able to share my expertise on this beautiful platform with you today.
Yes, I am too, and I know that all of you guys are. So I want to tap into your mom. So what about your mom inspired you to get into the business? Can you tell me that story?
Yes, so me and my mom have always been close. She started off as a real estate agent back in the early 2000s, but she was a real estate agent in the state of California. Now that's where we're from. And she bought a condo in Atlanta, and then we moved here, of course, in 2010. And she kind of transferred, she positioned herself more into loans. She doesn't deal with the real estate side anymore. And so that just fit perfectly for me, for us to be able to leverage our businesses off of each other and kind of keep all of the money in-house. So just seeing her and her hard work and dedication, as well as how much money she was making and how she was closing certain deals, as well as the networking that she was doing. She was meeting a lot of high-powered people in this industry. So that kind of just was the push that I needed to kind of, get all my ducks in a row and become a prestige partner so that, I can live on and keep the legacy going within our real estate portfolio.
Yeah. Well, you are certainly doing that. So Can you please, I mean, we see day in the lives all the time on YouTube. We see vlogs all the time. So I'm going to try and imagine this as I ask you this question. Can you take me through like a day in the life as a prestige partner here at Weichert Atlanta Realtors?
Okay, so there's a life of a prestige partner. It's just waking up, trying to do your best, putting your boots on the ground, as they would say, and getting out there and conquering this real estate market right now. Sometimes it's a little bit different. It varies from person to person, from day to day. Each prestige partner is different, but we all have the same morals and goals that makes us a unity. So it really just depends. But for me, my day is just getting up, praying. I'm a mom, so I have to take care of my son every morning, and checking my emails, making sure I'm dialing for dollars, reaching out to my sphere of influence, and always branding myself. I am my own brand, so I have to always make sure that I uphold myself to the highest standard. And I get out here, and I have a voice, and I want to vocalize my voice and tell people what they need to know about this real estate market.
You just talked about branding, and when I was looking on the Weichert Atlanta Realtors Instagram page, make sure that you guys go follow. You guys have like a lot of different training opportunities, and one of the training opportunities was about branding yourself, like rebranding yourself. Why was rebranding yourself and your Instagram, your social media platform, so important for you as you take on like this new journey? I know that you've been in the business for 3 years, but could you tell me more?
Yes, so branding is always a big part of it. No, I feel like no matter what profession you're in, branding is always a big part of it, because I was always told people buy people before they buy product and service. So someone is going to buy you or who you are before they even do any business with you. So the first thing nowadays when you meet people is, oh, do you have a business card? If you don't have a business card, oh, do you have an Instagram? They want to go to your Instagram. They want to see your personal life a little bit, not too much, but they also want to see your business life. How do you conduct yourself? How do you look on Instagram? Are you polished and professional? That is the main thing about branding yourself. So you want to always make sure that you can appeal to all audiences, because you never know who you're going to work with, as well as you don't want to offend the wrong person, as well as you don't want to let yourself down in appearance or, just personality.
Right.
So branding yourself is just really a big part of it, to be able to reach different people with different walks of life.
So when you talk about branding, your own specialization, who you are as a person and as a professional, what exactly would you say your expertise is in when it comes to this industry?
So my expertise, I more so in real estate focused on residential income, or sometimes residential properties for families, as well as investor specials are more so my niche, I guess you could say, because those are the two consumers that I gravitate towards the most. Or I guess you could say they gravitate towards me. And I end up working with them, and I have a lot of experience in those areas, so it makes me more comfortable. But I also have a niche that I'm trying to work up into commercial real estate sales as well too. So people who want to start businesses, people who want to open restaurants, people who want a commercial storefront. I'm working more towards that type of client.
What would you say makes you as a prestige partner unique?
Okay, so what makes me unique about the other prestige partners is, well, I'm the youngest, so I always bring a little flair. I guess you can say about my outfits, like they're really sassy and cute and sexy, and flirty. So that's my personality. I'm very bubbly. Every time I walk in the room, I always have a smile on my face, no matter what I'm going through at home, because sometimes things get hard. And I'm human too, just like you guys, but I'm never, gonna give anybody a nasty attitude. I always greet people with gratitude. What else makes me different? I always have my nails different, like sassy colors. So that's what makes me different. What also makes me unique is I'm really a caring person. I really care about the consumer. I really care about the people in my office. I always, I guess you could say, put my pride to the side to make sure that everyone in the office is okay and doing well, and seeing how we could work together to build this empire up, each and every day.
When you, when you talk about how you dress and how you're younger and your spunk and your flair, we're seeing more of that. I mean, if you even go on Netflix, have you watched Selling Sunset on Netflix?
Yes.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, is this a fashion show, you guys, or are you guys selling homes?
But that's a part of it. You have to sell yourself before you sell the home. Like if I just sold you a home in my pajamas, you'd be like, no, I'm not going back to Sky Blue Realtor. But if I, dress the part, I look the part, I walk the part, I talk the part, and I close the transaction, you're going to be like, oh, I'm referring her. So it all goes in together. And then to me, I love to get dressed. I love to play dress up and do my makeup and do my hair. So my job is really fun for me. Like, I love my profession, as you would say. So yes, I have to brand myself 24/7. It's a task, but it must get done. And I mean, look at you, Jakai. I mean, I know you hold up to the same standards.
Yes, I do. I 100% do. And I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree. Except if it's like, sometimes I see on Selling Sunset, if it's like, just like, the skirt is like, your vagina's almost showing. But then I watch with my boyfriend, he's like, whatever sells, whatever sells. So I'm like, okay, well, this is the new business.
Why not? As long as it's not too inappropriate, a little fun, if it's a Friday.
Yeah. And your transactions speak for themselves. I know you cannot disclose them, but can you just tell us a little bit about like your growth?
So I've only been doing real estate since 2020. I used to be an assistant, but taking it seriously for the last 3 years, I have a gross commission income of $3 million.
Wow. So guys, that's only in 3 years, and you're also a new mom. So that is a lot. I mean, I know when I asked you about it earlier when we were talking about it, you mentioned like, oh, it's not that high. Like I'm planning on working even harder. So you have goals for yourself that you intend on reaching. So how do your goals match up with the mission statement of the company?
So the mission statement of the company is, we sell more because we just simply do more. And I really take that to heart because with my clients, I honestly do more. I uphold myself to all the Georgia state standards. I don't break any standards. I make sure they know about everything that's going to be happening in the transaction before it happens, as well as when it happens. I always email them a process sheet so that they can follow along within the transaction weekly. I give them weekly updates. I'm always available by phone, text, and email. I have a very high response rate. I respond very diligently and quickly. And I kind of just go above and beyond. And I kind of just, my ultimate personal goal, I guess I could say, is I'm just trying to find the right property for my client. No matter if it's a single mom, if it's just a single person, or if it's a family of 5. No matter where they want to be, no matter what their price point is, I want to make sure that I can find them the right property that fits them, that they're comfortable with, no matter what the commission is. It's at the end of the day, of course, I do this for a living to feed my family, but it's not about the commission. It's about really doing a service to the civilians in the community.
Why is just solely getting a commission not that important to you?
It's solely not that important to me because this is the biggest investment that people make in their lives. This is not just something that people do every day. People have to work up to this. They have to build up to this, and it takes a lot of time and effort. You have to make sure your credit is in order. You have to make sure you make the monthly income or the yearly income, and you need to provide that documentation. You need to show taxes, and people are putting a lot of money down on these homes, 5, 10, 15% down. It's very expensive, and I don't want to treat it like this is just a day at Ulta or a day at Macy's. Like,
Right.
it's not that. This is one of the biggest investments that people are gonna make in their lives. And this is somewhere that their kids are gonna lay their head, you know. A man is gonna lay their head, a woman is gonna lay their head and feel comfortable in this environment. So I would like to treat it as that, you know, and make sure that I really do my job, and be diligent within the process and make sure everything is seamless and smooth for every client.
When you talk about investing, what is investing for some of our younger viewers who are about to graduate college, who have no clue really what investing is? Can you please just kind of give us more insight on how you help with investing?
Yes. So to me, investing is always making your money work for you, you know, because it's easy to make money and spend money. That's kind of like, I guess you could call it the rat race. But also when you make money, you need to be putting some away that way that your money can make money for you.
Okay.
So my job is to help you leverage your money, whether that is getting a rental property, whether that is buying a plot of land, maybe for later, maybe you want to find a wife, you know, but you already have a plot of land for you guys to build your dream home. You know, whatever that may be for you. My job is to help come in and assess what you need help investing in, and let's make a goal and a mission statement and a roadmap and a plan to execute that plan.
How have you seen that your strategy of serving your clients has worked in your favor?
Well, I've seen it because the checks keep coming in.
That is so
That's how
funny.
I see it. You know, when I see it because they're really like pleased with my service, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, I want to refer you. Because I always ask, like, okay, how did I do? Do you want to refer someone? You know, and it's been a lot of fires. Like, real estate is not easy. Like, yeah, people make it seem like they're just, these realtors are just drinking wine all day and eating crackers. Like, it's more to that, you know? It's always something that could go wrong, you know? So, my clients, they always refer me, you know, they're always like, oh, I'm so glad I worked with you. You know, just, I think words of affirmation after the transaction, you know, because they can say whatever they want to say about, you know, what happens during the transaction. But when it's all said and done, the smile that they have on their face is just so priceless, you know, and it makes my job worth it, as well as it makes me want to continue to keep going, you know, to go and find other clients that may need me, that, you know, don't know where to find me, and just to, you know, keep planting those seeds, you know, and keep watching them sprout.
Well, has business ever slowed down, and how do you cope with that?
Yes, business does slow down depending on rates. So that always has a great load of it when the rates go down. Or sometimes maybe some people are priced out, which that means is the market is just so high with the sales prices of the homes based on their income, they just really can't afford anything. So when that happens, you have to put people either in an incubator system, so reach out to certain people and kind of say, okay, what are your goals? Let's work on your credit, let's work on your income, let's try to find you a house and wait until prices go down. Or if you find a client like that, they may need to buy a fixer-upper. You know, they may need to buy something that they can work with, because everyone loves a turnkey property, but it's all about the potential. So sometimes you kind of just got to go out there and give people a push and, you know, sell that potential to clients, you know, make them see your vision as you see it. So that's kind of more so what I do, as well as a lot of people can do refinances as well too, people who want to move. So it just depends on the person, but you have to stay strong, you know, when the market does slow down, because it really does slow down a lot. And don't get discouraged, because there are always a lot of buyers and sellers who are looking, you know, to do something and invest with their property, but you have to be the one that they choose, and you have to be the one in front of their face in order to get that client. So you can't give up, you know, it's gonna get hard, but you have to keep pushing.
What are some common areas that you feel like your clients come to you and they're like, oh, I want to stay here, I want to stay there?
Well, of course.
And why?
Well, I'd say, of course, Cobb County is all the areas in Cobb County. So I'd say Mableton, Smyrna, Austell, all of those areas, Marietta, they love those areas. I would just say for one, because just the value is just so great here. The homes hold their value, as well as it's the perfect place to raise a family. The school districts are amazing. And it's just all around live, work, play. So everyone loves Cobb County. But as well as a lot of people like Buckhead, of course, still, or Midtown. That's just, your average single person who works in corporate life and they want a condo. But with me, all my clients, they tend to go to all areas in Georgia, like even out to Macon,
Right.
depending on what your needs are. Once we assess your needs, any area is the area that they can gravitate towards when they're working with me.
When you talk about assessing your clients' needs, I was reading an article on the Washington Post that was actually posted a while back in 2016, but even still, if you're looking at current reports to this day, you can kind of see some similarities in neighborhoods in Atlanta that have over 40% of African Americans living in it. Sometimes they can have more trouble, selling their home for the amount that they deserve to be, for the home to be sold, if that makes sense. With that, which I know that you already know that, how do you ensure that a client
Getting a biased sales price. So with a biased sales price, how I would treat that is, so if someone wants to list their home, no matter what their nationality is, their background, or any of that, I will let them know, okay, yeah, we're gonna be listing your home. So even before we even take the professional photos, I'm gonna tell them, so any important documents that have your name on it, any type of addresses, as well as any family photos or anything that could disclose your privacy, I would like you to put it in a file cabinet and lock it up, either in the attic or I need you to put it in the garage. So that way that they are protected and their privacy is not disclosed, so that no one can make a biased judgment. Either someone's gonna get their home because they really love it, or someone's not gonna get the home because it just wasn't the perfect fit for them.
So, what really was the moment in your life where things shifted and where you're like, okay, I'm good at this and I'm gonna stay good at it? Like, when was that time in your life?
Well, that time was actually, I want to say maybe year 2 into real estate, or I guess you could say into having my license. So before I had my license, I was an assistant for someone, but I could only do like back office things. I couldn't really, get out there on the field and, get a feel for how it was showing property and things like that. But I want to say after my second year, I closed $1 million transaction. So after I closed that transaction, it was so many buyers in that transaction, you guys. Like, it was a lot going on. So after I finally got that done, I was like, you know what, I can make it. I can do this. I've just handled the situations with so much delicateness and care and consideration, and I just was very intentional. That's the thing. Like, we just do stuff and we don't even know what we're doing. Like, with that transaction, I was very intentional and I wanted it to go through, and I really just made sure that I just did my best. And from that transaction forward, I just always made sure I did my best, and I paid attention closely to detail so that I didn't miss anything, so that I didn't mess up the deal or I didn't make anyone angry. Like, I just stood on it, like, okay, yeah, because at first, when you first do it, you're kind of scared, like, oh, what about this? Oh, what about that? But it's like, after you close it, you like, yeah, like, yeah, I'm in the room too,
Right.
As a young person, you want to be in the room too, you want to make your money too. And I feel like when you're a young real estate agent or a young real estate professional, people they don't really diss you, but they don't really take you seriously. They're kind of like, oh, she's young, she's just playing around. But it's like, no, this is kind of how I make my living, this is kind of how I feed my family, and it's serious and intentional to me, and I love my profession, and I'm striving every day to be the greatest that I can to accomplish big things, and I'm using this platform as a ladder, this portfolio in real estate as a ladder to open up more ventures.
When you talk about paying close attention to detail, I saw that on Weichert Atlanta's Realtor's Instagram page, but for you guys' core values, I saw that attention to detail was one of them. Why is that so important to this realtor?
Attention to detail is so important, Jakai, because that one little thing that you think doesn't matter matters a lot. You know, it could be something so simple as you not having the seller disclosure of the property, or you not disclosing your commission to the buyer's agent, or it could be something just so small that you think doesn't matter that could come back in the end and kind of close the transaction, and once you put in so much work and effort and hourless, nights, just to get to the finish line and not get a commission check, it kind of hurts, even though everything is not about the commission, it's still like how you pay your livelihood, So it's like to do all of this work and, not get paid for it, it really hurts. So it's like you have to make sure you pay attention to detail to make sure that everything goes seamless and smoothly at all times, as well as you want a good experience for the client, You want them to refer more business to you.
Right.
As well as you want them, when they talk about, oh, Sky Blue Realtor, they're like, oh, I work with her. She's really good. She's really professional. They can give you a good feedback experience. They can give you a good review, because if you don't have good reviews, people won't trust you. So it's really good to pay close attention to detail to make people think, wow, she really cared about me enough to, disclose that information to me. So it kind of all just goes full circle.
For sure. I'd say when I was growing up, literally another subject, my dad would constantly be like, if I was sweeping the floor, washing the dishes, pay attention to detail, pay attention to detail. I'm like,
Yes. Because also not paying attention to detail could kind of be labeled to me, like another label for that is sloppy. You want to be precise. That's like if you're drawing, you want to pay attention to detail and be very precise and intentional, not just going outside the lines, just making sure you color something. No, you got to pay attention to detail, pay attention to the bold lines.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's the same way with anything you do in life, as well as very specifically with the real estate, because this is very hard.
So why should a person looking to be a future real estate professional choose Weichert?
Someone looking to be a real estate professional should choose not only Weichert, they should choose the Prestige Partners office, because we just have so many tools and platforms for new agents. We train you up. We also have a motivational group. We all work together, and we all hold hands and lift each other up. Here it's no ceiling to growth. You can grow as much as you can work. So this is just the best place to be. The broker is a Black female broker, so she's very motivational and hardworking. Stephanie Kennedy, her name is Stephanie Kennedy, and the vice president is her daughter, Whitney Kennedy. So just working with them is amazing. The office is great. The fees are low. They give you leads. A lot of other brokerages do not give you leads. So here they give you leads. They give you a chance to, make your own money and get out there and be independent while still being led, in a proper manner. So this is really the place to be.
So in the company's mission statement, it says that Weichert Realtor's Prestige Partners, that you all's job is to make the experience for you guys clients to be positive, which I love that you guys put so much emphasis on the experience of you all's clients. Why is that so important to you that they leave out with a positive attitude?
Yes, that's so important to me because, one, I want to make sure that this investment is protected, and they felt great within buying this property, and it was something that they wanted. They weren't steered into something else. As well as I want them to refer people, and have a happy thought or a great thought when they think about me, as well as Prestige Partners. I feel like my clients become like my family in a sort, So if I do them a disservice, they won't like me. Like, they won't want to come back. They won't want to refer me. They won't want to, like my Instagram posts, which I mean, that doesn't matter, but I still want them to, feel comfortable with me. And always, I want to be the person that they come to for real estate advice as well, outside of the transaction, aside the money. I want to be trusted enough that way if they even think about real estate, they think about me and my partners.
Right.
So that all ties into making sure they always have a positive outcome with any transaction that they close.
Okay. And Weichert Realtor is countrywide, so you can find it anywhere in the country. But how is Weichert different from other realtor companies?
Yes. So Weichert is different because just our logo alone just stands out. Our branding color is yellow. Everybody knows yellow makes you just so bubbly and happy and makes you smile. So that's just something different because all the other real estate firms or brokerages have like green and yellow. Green and red and stuff like that. So those are good colors too, but yellow is just very pure and authentic and energetic. So that, as well as what makes us different, it's just the training, just everything that you learn here. It's like they tell you step by step of what you're supposed to be doing at all time. And they also do it with you. That way you're not alone. You're never alone. This is just a safe, free environment. And it's just a great learning environment. We also have in-house sales meetings every Tuesday, networking events. That way we can mingle and pass out our cards and meet other real estate agents. So it's kind of like a work and a play environment, which can make someone feel very comfortable, comfortable enough to be able to do their best.
Why is networking so important to you?
Networking is so important to me, not only to just clients or potential buyers or sellers, but also to other agents, because if people don't know about you, they can't really vouch for you.
Right.
You want someone to be like, oh, I know her. She's a good real estate agent. Oh, she works with Prestige Partners. I've closed a transaction for you. You want people to know you because your network is your net worth.
Right.
So, yeah, you want people to be able to vouch for you and, trust you. You want to be a trusted advisor, in this real estate industry because, this is the biggest investment that people make in their lives. So that's one of the main core principles that you have to have. You have to be a trusted individual.
I know that our viewers and our listeners are loving everything that you're saying, and you're making them feel so secure, and they are going to contact you. But first off, before they do, what is your contact information? Please brag on yourself and this company because we want to know.
So you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is Sky Blue Realtor. You spell it SKYEBOUE Realtor. And then you can email me at dsblue.wrprestige@gmail.com, as well as you can come to our Mableton office and come and see us or come and see me and let's chat over coffee and have a consultation and see how I can help you within your real estate needs.
Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I've had so much fun with you. And it's just great to catch up and, blessings to you, graduating college, everything else that you have to come.
I appreciate you and you being a new mommy. You're made for it. You are made to be a mommy. Literally, you have the spirit of a mom. So this is made for you. You are amazing. And I know you're going to get so much more clientele. So I'm proud of you. And I'm excited. Honestly, you guys, I'm leaving this interview learning so much more than I did coming into it. And it's kind of rare because, well, honestly, I would say I'm blessed that I've had, honestly, 2 other guests on this show. And they've fed back into me. And I know it's God because you're feeding back into me. And I can walk out of here I have a connection, and then I also have so much knowledge that you've given me and given us. So I thank you because a lot of us, some of our parents don't even teach us this stuff. So about the basic stuff like networking and investing. and like, oh my gosh, like I wish I could talk to you longer.
And that's what it's about, peer-to-peer knowledge, you know,
Yeah.
letting each other know, you know, because these topics can be, uncomfortable to talk about. But if we talk about them together, it can make it more comfortable, you know?
And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the like button. Also, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure that you hit that subscribe button as well. Thank you so much for watching The World According to Jakai.